Sometimes we can make technology visible. Sometimes it should work in the background. Sometimes it should help tourism experts to delegate some monotonous work, automate it, while we would have, as tourism industry, more time to communicate with tourists when it's appropriate for them.
Hello everyone, here at Budapest at Tourism Summit 2025. I'm Evelin Somody, and today now I will talk with Katerina Volchek, and she's right here from Germany, Deggendorf, and she's a highly expert in innovation and tourism, and we will talk about that a little bit in the next minutes. Katerina, I'm happy to have you here. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you very much for inviting me here to this fantastic event.
So let's start with the summit first of all. You will take part in 2 panels. What are your expectations about these panels? Why can they be important for people that will be participants there?
Well, I'm very, very excited because this is the place which managed, and the organizers managed to bring together experts from tourism, but they're from different fields. And the first panel I will be moderating is related to the user-generated content, and the panel has the managers, the strategists, the influencers, the IT experts, the publishers themselves. So I am really excited about the joint, really critical, maybe a little bit inconvenient discussion, which we sometimes need to have to succeed in tourism businesses. And the second panel is my main expertise, so basically artificial intelligence and how it's transforming the area. And this topic is also very important right now. It's urgent because these things are happening without our participation. AI is booming in everyday life, and we definitely need to understand how to correctly step in, what we can do to benefit from AI, how we can close the most urgent tourism problems with the help of AI, and vice versa, what we should not do, not to lose competitiveness, not to lose control.
AI and technology is also part of your work at the Deggendorf Institute. Can you tell a bit about it?
Well, currently I'm the head of the laboratory, which is called Smart Tourism Laboratory. And what we're doing there, me and my team, we are exploring different types of applications of AI. So we are not coders ourselves, but what we're doing, we're testing different applications, how they can fit into tourism strategy, how it can fit into the problems that tourism is struggling with, for example, personalization. Because we're talking about this problem for the last 35 years. And for the last 35 years, the only thing tourism industry managed to do is basically to reduce the number of irrelevant options for tourism, let's be honest, filtering it out. Mm-hmm. And now we have revolutionary opportunities with AI to design, let's say, something that is called digital twin, which will not just be the accumulation of the data that tourists want to reveal with us, but it will be an algorithm forecasting tourism situation, context, and their preferences right here and right now. So we can really support them immediately and prevent problems. And this is something that is called hyper-personalization. And this is something that is only now becoming possible. Thanks to AI. So that kind of examples of what we're doing, we're testing, checking if the algorithm works or not, checking if the analysis that is performed valid or not, looking at how industry explores it and trying to summarize that kind of things.
So big changes coming ahead for tourism. You also work together with tourism companies at the Institute, and how it looks like.
So I see 2 trends when we collaborate with businesses. Sometimes we do some consulting or just participating in the events. And one of the big trends is so-called hype of AI, because everyone is talking about that. Everyone is excited, scared, frustrated. Everyone is panicking, basically, because of that. And I think that's a little bit wrong approach, because whether we are emotional about it or not, it's happening. AI is penetrating everyday life. we cannot avoid it. What we can do is we can try to learn as quickly and as efficiently as possible how we can benefit from it, how we can really incorporate it in our tourism strategies to close the most important problems that tourism faces and hospitality faces, and what we can do not to be damaged by the changes in AI. And the second big trend I am observing right now from the industry is that they are basically over-relying on AI sometimes. So people started delegating their own tasks to AI, somehow trusting that it will be better or at least at the same level as a human being. But AI is not yet here. And same as we do mistakes as human beings. Yeah. And what we're trained to do, we're trained to think, to strategize, to evaluate, to think critically, and then to approach the tasks, right? And then to reflect on the results. And I think this is the approach we should have with the AI, because it's a fantastic tool. Now we're talking about agentic AI. It's a fantastic agent for us to support us with the tasks. But we need to remember that AI doesn't mean a God who can solve all our problems like that. And that's really strange and I think challenging now for the industry. Yes. For the everyday life too.
Just my earlier interviewee mentioned that personalization is very important when using, of course, AI and technology. How do you think we can keep the human side of communication when using so much AI in communication, in marketing, in business ideas? How can we be also stay human-centered?
I have two perspectives on that. First of all, it's really understanding human needs in the real-time situation. For decades, what we've been observing is that tourism industry was trying to do personalization by eliminating some most irrelevant options. Now it's the first time when we are having this innovative technology. For example, the idea of having so-called digital twin, so the algorithm that will analyze human behavior, sense the context, sense the situations, and combine the information about our tourists and the real-time problems they might face, challenges, requests, and then predict what they might need right here and right now and prevent possible problems. And this is an absolute advantage of AI. This is the first time in our life when we have this advantage. At the same time, what is important is to understand, what people want, a human touch or a quick and easy solution. And that's what we are exploring, and that's what I'm also trying to teach my students, is that technology is a tool. If you ask people, do you want personalization? They say no. If you ask people if you want technology, they say, why? Except for some fans who really want to try some technologies. Because technology is just a tool for us to satisfy our needs, our most urgent, most important needs and desires. And this is where technology should step into our life, as far as I understand it, as far as I believe in after my research. So sometimes we can make technology visible, sometimes it should work in the background, sometimes it should help tourism experts to delegate some monotonous work, automate it, while we would have, as tourism industry, more time to communicate with tourists when it's appropriate for them.
A fact that came to my mind that there was a very interesting photo exhibition a few years ago, and it was about hotel rooms around the world. All of the rooms looked the same. It was so interesting that you could be any part of the world, the hotel room was also looking the same. Do you see like a similar danger when using AI in tourism, that maybe the experience people can have abroad starts feel like the same because everyone using the same tool for that, and tourism maybe gets too deep and too addicted to AI? Can this be, you think, a problem or danger with this?
I would say yes and no, and I would say it depends on the tourism, because there are two types of tourists. Some people are proactive and they already have some idea of what they would like to have, and for them AI might be a great tool to plan really extraordinary, unique trip and to eliminate some problems they would have before with searching, combining, scheduling, and so on. But this would happen in case people would write a correct prompt. Let's say if they use ChatGPT or any other generated AI tool. Yeah, but to write a good prompt for yourself, you need to understand what you are looking for. Some can do that, and there is a second category of tourists who are not ready to articulate what they want. Many years ago, I was working in a travel agency, and most of the tourists that would come to my office would say, I just need a normal hotel, I just need a comfortable bed, I need a normal breakfast. And I would advise them a normal 3-star hotel. 15 minutes after check-in, people would start calling and complaining because in reality, their expectations were very different, but it was so problematic for them to articulate these things. And this is where I see a potential problem. So whether you lead the request and the task for AI to do something for you, or alternatively, as we started discussing, there is a space for really predicting what people might want, what people might not want. And all the people are unique, so all the needs will be very, very different. And moreover, the situation is changing. Mm-hmm. When I'm traveling for business, I have one set of requirements and needs. When I'm traveling for fun, it's completely different. Plus weather, place, destination, social environment, and many, many, many other things. If we would have AI that would be able to correctly predict that, then we would create an absolutely advanced option for those tourism who are not ready to articulate their preferences. If not, then might be a problem.
As I read, you often mention neurophysical feedback when it comes to AI and technology in tourism. How do you see people nowadays, how we react to this world, technology changing around us? What is currently the situation with neurophysical feedback?
Well, that's a really important question. And when people hear about it, it's really exciting. And I have never seen any person who would hear about a technology that understands your emotion and analyzes your facial expression in real time and shows this on the computer with the result, with the accurate result. On the other hand, of course, if we are talking about personal data, or the data that categorizes ourselves, and we don't need names or date of birth, right? To personalize. What we need to understand the needs, the wants, maybe restrictions of the person in a specific situation. There are lots of different types of data. As you mentioned, from neuroscience, it's the state of emotion. Whether I feel comfortable, whether I'm happy right now, or whether I'm trying to smile, but in reality, maybe some people would not feel comfortable. Whether I'm stressed, whether I'm tired, whether I'm ready for a long hike, or I didn't sleep well and I actually need a relaxing spa right now. This all is possible right now to measure with the help of different biosensors. So there are body sensors that track our heart rate, temperature, skin conductance, and so on and so forth. There are cameras that track our emotions, our gaze, our eyes, and many other things. Plus, we have all the context data. Altogether, it gives us a unique opportunity to create this understanding of the context. And with our still human intelligence, we can understand, we can interpret what a human being would feel like and what would like to want, would like to avoid something, would hate something. But we are talking about the situation that we need to collect this data. And some people are okay with that. Some people feel that it is a huge intrusion in their life. And this is also something we as travel industry need to manage. And there are two big things. There are actual data management to make sure that it's not stolen, not misused, because even right now when we are recording this video, potentially there is an opportunity to copy my face and to use it for Face ID later on. So we need to understand that and to make sure that we manage the data correctly. And the second thing, we need to manage perceptions, because I don't remember the first author of this idea, but there is an opinion that we need to forget the term privacy. We need to think about security. Because in the current world where we are using, let's say, Google Maps or any other maps, we're using Navigator, our location has to be shared. Without that, we cannot work. If we are using Wi-Fi, then the manager of Wi-Fi knows our location. If we are using CCTV for safety, there is our record of ourselves, of our face. Without that, modern life will be impossible. What we need to do, we need to explain this to people and let them know what they want to share, what they don't want to share, and let them feel safe and secure and able to manage this data.
I would like to circle back to education. What do you see among young people? What knowledge they really have to prepare for the future, the AI-driven future?
That's the most difficult question for me, because among educators we're discussing what is our role right now and what is our role in 5, 15 and 20 years. And there are lots of opinions that we don't need higher education at all, because you can have ChatGPT, which will answer all the questions. The problem, as we started already also discussing, is what we can really plan and strategize and delegate to AI, and how to correctly do that and how to avoid this. Plus, the world is changing so quickly. Of course, younger people, they're always more willing to try something new. Of course, and it's beautiful. At the same time, they lack experience of the world. They can get the information about the basics. Let's say I'm teaching the basics of strategy. They can easily get understanding of what is a business model. The question how to use AI, how to develop it, because it's not about AI once again. So as an educator, I see my role not in teaching content. This is something they can read. For me, it's about critical thinking of what they're doing, why they are doing these things, always focusing on the problem and then selecting whatever tools can be helpful for them to find a relevant solution for their work problems and for their life problems. And in the long-term perspective, what I see my task is helping them to become lifelong learners. Because in the previous decades, or even centuries, it was clear distinction. We go to kindergarten, then we go to school, then some go to university, and then we work. So education stops. Right now, the speed of the change in the world is so enormous that this framework is irrelevant. We need to learn every day. If we pause for several months, if we stop observing what's happening around, we are out of this world. We don't understand. And this is something I believe to be very, very important for the students right now. Not to learn things by heart, not to overload them with too much of books, consuming them and trying to store this knowledge in their brain, but to accept the idea that the knowledge is changing. And they need to learn how to learn during their life, how to make it effective and efficient.
Wow. Katerina, thank you so much for sharing your insights today with us. It was so interesting listening to you. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure and a big honor for me.